All right. Hey, everyone. Paul C. Torina here, nutritional therapist and Nativist life coach out of Las Vegas. Here to just touch base with you before getting into this last week before our next meeting. And we've already gotten a lot of great feedback about a lot of great changes that people are experiencing, and we love to hear that kind of stuff. We told you, usually for most people, it's about 3 to 5 days of being diligent, and you start to notice energy levels change, sleep patterns change, like all kinds of little beneficial things. Some people have even reported like some body composition changes. And then, you know, we also have some people that I know are struggling, like both struggling with implementation in general, maybe not seeing results as fast as they wanted to. And you just have to keep in mind that this is a lifelong journey. We are doing things right by the body, by your health. Everybody's body is going to be different and respond different, and the body prioritizes change in its own way. And so maybe its priority is figuring some other things out before some of these other bigger shifts happen for you, but you just have to be patient. We're only 1 week into this thing. We have a ton more stuff to do, a ton more learning, a ton more tweaking, and just remember, it's all good, right? Again, this is a lifelong journey. We're talking about a crucial matter. We're talking about health and longevity and quality of life. And 1 week compared to, you know, years or maybe even decades of dysfunction is nothing, okay? So just be patient with this process. Keep moving forward. Reach out for support. Reach out for help if you need it, because we're always here and we have a great community of people that love and care about you very much, okay? You know, and I will say that the people that tend to see the results the most are the people that are the most diligent. So always keep that in the back of your mind. I mean, some people, you know, they could be 50-50 and like they see some great things shift, but for most people, you know, the more diligent you are, the more your body is going to have a chance to clean itself of all the things it needs to get rid of, and then start to make these shifts. So I would always have the mindset of trying to be as 100% diligent as I possibly could each and every day. Strive for perfection, but be easy on yourself when you're not perfect, and just try to learn from your difficulties and challenges and turn those into great wisdom opportunities, you know. So couple things, you know, in speaking with some people, you know, because I bump into people all day, every day, coming in to work out at the gym. Sometimes people come in for, you know, whatever reason. Don't make things complicated, you know. So we spent 2.5 hours at that first meeting going through a lot of preliminary information, making an argument for doing what we're doing. But when it boils down to is, like, it's super simple and elegant, right? We're doing 3 meals a day. And if you need a snack, you can in the beginning here. 3 meals a day. Starting the day off with raw materials and a signal of fat for fuel or self-sufficiency, which means no carbohydrates in the morning or minimal carbohydrates. And that's it. You know, experiment with the amounts and the portions and do what feels right for you. If you feel like you're a little bit more hungry in the mornings, eat a little bit more of a substantial meal. And then be easy and light on yourself for the middle day meal. And then the evening, just kind of let loose a little bit. You know, just keep it super simple, super clean. Stay within the 5 food groups. Eliminate the foods to eliminate. Structure your eating according to the ideal day's meals, and don't make it any more complicated than that. Remember, better is better. You know, so I had a chance to talk with Yolanda Page. I hope I said that right, Yolanda Page. And so she was showing me her food journal, and kudos to all you guys that are out there doing your food journal, because it's so important, so crucial. And we were going over everything, and she was abiding by the guidelines pretty much. There were some things that we talked about that she could have done better, but the bottom line is, like, she was doing better than when she came into this, and I was really, really proud of her and talking with her. All right, so remember, better is better, but then you also want to make sure that you shoot for 100% each and every day. Make sure that if you're struggling to implement this whole thing, just make sure you get that first meal right. If you get that first meal right with a signal of raw materials, you know, meat, fat, low starch vegetables, a signal of self-sufficiency and fat for fuel, you get that first meal right, for most of us, it's going to give you momentum to make other better decisions throughout the rest of the day. If you don't get that first meal right, it's really hard to kind of correct path and fix things after that, you know. So always try to strive to get that first meal right. Maybe make that your minimal goal if you're really struggling with this whole thing, and the rest of the day should kind of flow after that. Nuts and seeds are not considered meats and fats. So remember, nuts and seeds are a part of our condiments and complements to real food. They're definitely in the deal, a smaller part of the deal, but they're not going to count as meat and fat. You know, so if you're starting the day off with a handful of, you know, walnuts or almonds or something along those lines, I mean, that's better than starting the day off with a potato or some fruit, but it's definitely not the signal that we're looking for. With that first meal of the day, we're looking for a signal of meat, and fats and low starch vegetables, so that we give the body a lot of raw materials to work with, and then also so that we send the body a signal of self-sufficiency and fat for fuel. And then nuts and seeds are a part of the deal. They're little complements. You can have them as a snack, you can have them as part of a meal, but they're definitely not going to count as your meats and fats. Make sure that you watch the videos. So we have a lot of great information that we've put out, including the recap video. That was a short recap of the meeting. You know, it's relatively short, so it's got a lot of little gems in there. The food prep video for superhumans. What is it? Real food cooking and food prep tips for superhumans. It's a great video, a couple of years old, but it's all super solid. Remember, below the videos we have links for all the recommended products and things that are mentioned in the video, so that's a really good video that we've sent out. The Whole Foods shopping tour, you know, a lot of us had a chance to actually attend the in-person shopping tour, but then we also recorded a live version of it. And again, in the blog post we have links to all the different things that we talked about, and you can get them in different places. And then our first quest video, already had some great feedback on this. I had a couple of private messages and emails about how it's already helped with their cravings. I'm telling you, like, I used this when we first came out with the Quest. I think it was last year, and it works wonders. It's really great. Just give it a shot, you know, see if it works for you. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for a lot of people. On the journal, just make sure that you're journaling every day and doing the best you can with it. We're going to send out instructions on how to use the grade sheet later in the week. The power up at the top of the page, remember, power ups are things that we turn to give us a little boost in morale and energy. Maybe things that you're doing on a daily basis anyway, like a workout or a walk or listening to some music or something like that. But that is not your priming and practice session. Your priming and practice is that brief period of time in the morning where you sit down and you do gratitude, you sit in silence for 5 minutes, and then you do your envisioning. Okay, and if you have any questions or confusion or difficulty with that, just reach out to us. And then we've had some people come to us about some digestive issues. So I'm going to do a digestion video tomorrow, a short one on some recommendations. But if you're having, a lot of people when they transition to real food from doing whatever it was that they were doing, or when they transition to a lower carbish way of eating, most people are going to go through a period of what feels like constipation or slower bowel movements, or maybe even smaller bowel movements. That's perfectly normal. It's transitional. I remember going through that years ago, and most people tend to work themselves out of that. Now, if you're going 2 or 3 days without using the bathroom, then that's a big issue, and you need to reach out to us, because there's some supplements that we've used that are just like the supplements of the SHT, and they're awesome, and they're great, and they work. And so we've got some solutions for that. Remember, I'm a nutritional therapist. I've dealt with all this stuff for a very, very long time, and so we've got remedies and recommendations for just about any symptom that you're experiencing right now. So next meeting is going to be super exciting. It's one of my favorite meetings, because, you know, this first meeting is just the general protocol. You know, we're not doing a whole lot of specific tweaks and stuff like that. So this next meeting, we're actually going to get into the keys to self-sufficiency, where we talk more about how to hone this concept of self-sufficiency and train the body how to use fat for fuel. We're going to talk about eating around fitness and training, which I know a lot of people have already asked about that, and also some supplemental recommendations. And then also we're going to get into our first setting circadian rhythm tweaks or biohacks. You know, so we've got some really cool tools and things that we're going to recommend for that. And for those of you that are veteran superhumans, we've got some new information as far as that goes. We're going to talk about the power of mineralizing your water and exactly what you will need to do that with. And then we're going to get into meditation. So for these past couple of weeks, we've only recommended that you sit in silence for 5 minutes. And at this next meeting, we're going to actually talk about how to formally meditate, and we're going to focus on sounds in the environment. And I know most of you are going to love that. And then we're also going to try to hone our envisioning statements, okay? So I think that's a really good recap of what we got going on, what we got coming up. Hang in there no matter where you're at with things. Just remember, this is a lifelong journey. Make sure that you make the meeting a priority. I'm telling you, the meetings are where it all happens, all right? If for whatever reason you have to come to a different meeting and not come to the Saturday, come to the Monday, or vice versa, that's perfectly fine. Just make the meeting a priority. Try to move your schedule around so that you can make it, so that you can continue interacting with all of us, and then having that dynamic interaction with the whole group, and questions and comments and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so much love and support here for you guys. Let me know if we can do anything else to help you out. Okay, thank you so much.